Hi there. We are moving on to division. So we are looking at 4 divided by 2/5. So with divisions, it is very important to know what we are actually trying to solve. So we have to read this equation in a particular way. So what does that mean? So that means when I'm looking at this, the question it is being asked, the actual question that it is being asked of you to solve is that how many times do 2/5 does 2/5 sorry does 2/5 go into 4? So the question that you're answering is how many times does 2/5 go into 4? So how are we going to figure that out? Of course, we're going to use the area model. Surprise, big surprise there. So I am going to draw 2 holes. No, what am I saying? I am going crazy. I am going to draw 4 holes, right? Okay, and we want to see how many times 2/5 go in, right? So I'm going to actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, look at how equal these pieces are. Okay, so as you can see, I just divided all of the holes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, and I divided them into 5 equal pieces. So that means if I'm looking at this one little piece, the unit fraction, it's 1/5, right? So I'm looking at 1/5 right over here if I'm just looking at this one piece. So, but what we want to know is how many times does 2/5 go into 1, 2, 3 whole. So I'm going to start counting. First, let's see. I have 1, right? That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 out of 5. So I am counting 1, right? 1. I have 2. That's my second 2/5. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we know that 2/5 go into 4 10 times, and that is going to be your answer. So because 2/5, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2/5 going to 4 10 times, right? So that is great. But it was great because I could count to 10 and none of the pieces were left behind, so we didn't have to worry about that. So we're going to do a different question that would have something remaining, and then we'll see how that would actually change. So let's erase it all here. Okay, so the question now we're going to answer is 5 divided by 3/4. Okay, so once again, it is important to understand what we are actually trying to, what the question is actually asking you to do. So what is the question asking you? So the question is, how many times does 3/4 go into 5? How many times does 3/4 go into 5? That's what we are going to figure out. Okay, so I need 5 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now I'm going to, each hole I will divide it into 4 equal parts. Okay? 4 equal parts. So you can see that one, if I'm just looking at this 1 out of the 4 pieces in one whole, we know that that little piece is 1 over 4, 1/4. And if I'm looking at one whole, at this particular moment, this whole, this part right over there, I have one whole, and that's 4 out of 4. Okay, so that's the starting point. And we're going to figure out how many times 3/4 go into 5. So let's count. Okay, so that means I need 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So that's my one whole. Haha, I said something funky, didn't I? So I said one whole. But didn't I say that one whole is 4 over 4 a little bit earlier? Yes, I did. I haven't forgotten about that. But now that I'm counting how many times 3/4 go into 5, we are actually creating a new whole. New whole, right? Because I'm counting, okay, this is my 1 time, this is my 2nd time, and 3rd time, and I'll keep on counting until I run out of pieces. But that means as long as, when I have 1, 2, 3 pieces, I'm counting as 1. That means my new whole is when I have 3 pieces out of 3, that's my new whole. This is going to be super important later on. So once again, I say 1, 2, 3, I have 3 pieces, that's my second whole, right? 1, 2, 3, that's my third whole. That's the new whole because 3 pieces out of 3, as long as I have 3 of those pieces, I'm counting that as my new whole. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's my 4th whole. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's my 5th whole. I think I can make another 1, 2, 3. That's my 6th whole, right? So now I know that I have 6, but what about these 2 that I still have remaining? I can't make a whole because I only have 1 and 2 pieces. Okay, sure, now that means my numerator is going to be 2, but what about the denominator? What am I looking at? I have 2 options. Initially, remember the first whole that we started out was 4 out of 4, but I said something funky and I said there's going to be a new whole when I start counting how many times 3/4 go into 5. So which one is it then? So that's why I said this part is really, really important. Well, we made wholes when I had 1, 2, 3 pieces. That's my new whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Every time when I had 3 out of 3 pieces, I counted as 1. That means right here, my denominator right over here, it's actually 3. So that means for here, when I said 6, that means I have 3 out of 3, and I have that 6 times, right? I have that 6 times. So the answer to this is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wholes, 6, and I have 1, 2 pieces out of 3. So the answer is going to be 6 and 2/3. So this part is really, really important. And I hope that was easy enough to understand. And I'll be back with more multiplication and division of fractions later on. Thank you.